I'm very excited to have been provided this Orange Ninja tool sharpener to share with you. Out of the box, it comes with the tool sharpener, an overview instruction manual. While the instructions give you the basics on how to use each of the tool's features, it does take some practice in order to perfect knife sharpening. A card for registering the 1-year warranty, and a card with a URL and QR code that links you to assistance on how to properly sharpen a knife. There's also a downloadable ebook and video guide for showing you better techniques in sharpening knives and all other tools. The sharpening tool is pretty lightweight and usable if you are right or left-handed. This is a multi-purpose tool. It can be used for sharpening everything from kitchen knives to hunting knives to scissors and even yard tools. Let's go through each of the sharpening surfaces. As we look at this, you're going to see it's pretty scratched up. Over the past 3 weeks, I have sharpened everything possible in my house. Let me show you each of the sharpening surfaces. First, we have the sanding stones. There are 2, and they're labeled. One is 600 grit and the other one is 1000 grit. On the end is a wheel with 4 different sharpening surfaces. To rotate it, press this button and you can easily turn it with one hand. Each surface has a corresponding number. Position 1 is for sharpening items like knives and scissors. Position 2 is the honing edge. It is for daily sharpening of kitchen knives and utility knives. Position number 3 is V-shape. It is for sharpening medium-sized kitchen, utility, and hunting knives. Position number 4 is also V-shaped. It is for sharpening large tools, knives, even small axes and hatchets. My favorite part of the tool is in the handle. This is for sharpening items like garden tools. You know, those curved shaped cutters that you can't sharpen any other way. This is the tool for that. For nearly a year, I have whined and complained that nearly every kitchen knife we have and yard tool we have is so dull, it's nearly unusable. That's why I was so excited to receive the Orange Ninja tool sharpener to demonstrate for you. In preparing this video, I learned for many years I've been making the cardinal sin of washing our kitchen knives in the dishwasher. There's a place in the dishwasher for putting knives. Why shouldn't you put knives in the dishwasher? It turns out the hot water and dish detergents in the dishwasher dull a knife to becoming nearly unusable over time. I've also learned that different brands and types of knives have various angles of sharpened edges. Most common kitchen knives have about a 20-degree edge. Some upscale knives have a 15-degree edge. First, I started sharpening one of the most common household tools, a pair of scissors. For the scissors, I'm going to use position number 1 on the wheel. I'm going to position the scissors at about a 20-degree and pull it towards me along the edge. If you're pulling at the right angle, you can literally hear the sound of it sharpening. If you pull at the wrong angle, it sounds dull. At the right angle, you can hear a crisp metal gliding sound. I found it necessary to go back over the tip a few extra times. For the paring knife, I'm going to use the same number 1 position. Admittedly, because so many of my kitchen knives were dulled from years of being washed in the dishwasher, it's taken me a while to sharpen each knife. Because I use this paring knife the most, I've learned after daily use, just run across the honing edge a couple of times. Another way to know if the knife is sharp is feeling for the burr on the edge. I'm using position number 3 for this larger kitchen knife. I'm placing it in the slot, resting up against the 30-degree angle, and pulling back the length of the blade. I've learned it's not necessarily the speed, but it's the amount of pressure you're putting against the blade. If you're uncomfortable free holding the tool and the knife, place the tool on the table upside down and pull the knife towards you. Now I'm going to use position number 4 for sharpening this butcher knife. In this case, I will place the tool on the table, holding it firmly, pulling back. I can literally hear the knife ring as it's being sharpened. Now we are to my favorite feature of the Orange Ninja sharpening tool. It's the ability to sharpen pruning clippers, both handheld and the large ones. At the end of the handle is the V-shaped sharpening blade. Insert the pruning clippers and pull back. This is the second set of large pruning shears that I've sharpened using the Orange Ninja. As you can see, this one is very dull and bent. After about 30 minutes of use with the Orange Ninja, I was able to make it sharp enough to cut a relatively thick branch. Similar to the small pruning clippers, insert the blade into the end, grip both firmly, and pull back. Admittedly, if you have a pair of pruners that's as dull as these are, it will take a little bit of effort to get them sharp enough to trim branches again. The same end can be used for sharpening lawnmower blades. You would take the lawnmower blade off, place it into a vice grip, and then use the tool in a similar fashion as you would with these large clippers. I'm going to use the same end for sharpening these large bush trimmers. I'm holding one handle of the hedge trimmers against my body with my hand holding the other one, locking it open. Insert the Orange Ninja on the blade and pull back. You can definitely hear this sharpening. If you want to sharpen your knives with an old school technique, use the sanding stones. Grip the handle, hold the knife blade about 20 degrees, and pull back. At just the right angle, you can hear it sharpening. It takes a combination of speed and resistance. I alternate between using the 600 and 1000 grit sides. Over the last few weeks, I've really enjoyed using the Orange Ninja tool sharpener. It's an item I'm going to keep handy in the kitchen, and I'm even considering ordering a second one to keep in the garage. Hope you enjoy using this as much as I have. Since getting the Ninja sharpening tool, I just can't help myself and keep trimming things everywhere.